Hey guys, Justin Bryant here from selfmadesuccess.com, and in this video I'm going to show you 13 strategies to build a popular Twitter account that has thousands of followers. So I'm going to show you ways to do this. The vast majority of them are completely free, and it's going to help you get more followers on your Twitter account and also increase your engagement, which means retweets, people messaging you, people mentioning you, favoriting your tweets, things like that. So you're going to just be more popular overall, and what you choose to do with that account is up to you, whether you want to make money from it, from sponsored tweets or selling stuff, or just to have a lot of Twitter friends. Whatever it is you want to do with this account, that's not what this video is about. It's just all about making a popular account with a lot of followers and engagement. So the first thing I recommend you do is post more quotes, humor, and text-based tweets. These are the most popular types of Twitter posts. So you might notice that if you go on Facebook, if you go on Instagram, if you go on Twitter, the top posts are going to vary. So people who prefer Facebook are going to want to see more images, memes, things like that, lifestyle type posts, less links, less text based. Same thing for Instagram, but Twitter is different. Twitter actually, if you read this post on quicksprout.com called "What Type of Content Gets Shared the Most on Twitter" by Neil Patel, great marketer, you'll notice that the analytics tell you the best posts on Twitter seem to do better when they are humor based. If you look at this chart here, 62% humor, a lot more popular than travel, food, other. Also, text seems to do better than images and videos by far. If you ever look up the top most popular tweets of all time, which I will get to later in the video, you'll notice that a lot of them are just short sentences or short little phrases or things like that. And they don't even involve images or videos or most of the media that would usually be popular in other social media platforms. Also, things like how-to and list articles, so people are more likely to be interested in blogs on Twitter than, say, some of the other social media channels like Facebook. Also, quotes tend to do well on Twitter, and people don't like memes. You know, memes are kind of these humorous images, typically geared towards younger audiences. People just don't care about that stuff on Twitter as much as, say, Facebook. So keep those things in mind. Check out this post on Quicksprout, and you'll kind of understand what types of posts you need to put on Twitter so that you can get the best reaction from followers. Number 2, promote tweets with JustRetweet. So I'm going to show you JustRetweet. If you go to JustRetweet.com and you sign in using your Twitter account, you'll see a page like this. What you do is you earn credits. You'll see the credits over here, and all you do is you retweet, like, or +1 on Google different things here, and they tell you how many credits you get paid for it. So once you get a couple hundred credits, then you go submit a tweet, and then all you do is you tweet what you're going to tweet, copy that and paste it in the submit tweet area of JustRetweet, and then it will show up like these. So your tweet will look just like this. It'll be the exact tweet. People can also like it and +1 it if you allow them, and then they earn credits from you. So basically you're trading social media shares with others who might have interesting content in exchange for them sharing your stuff. So it's a great way to get free promotions of your tweets, whether their tweets are for a blog post like many of these are, or if they're for a certain cause or just something that you're trying to get in front of a lot of people to increase your followers. but if you combine JustRetweet with the types of posts that get the most engagement, you can expect a huge boost in engagement and followers from that. So you don't have to necessarily share blog posts, which is what most people do on here, but you can leverage JustRetweet to use free credits to promote your tweets to thousands and thousands of other people's followers without you even having a big following yet. Number 3, you want to post your best content at 12 p.m., 3 p.m., and between 5 and 6 p.m. So these are the best times to post on Twitter based on a group of about 16 different studies or so done by CoSchedule.com, where they went over all the best studies and analytics on what works and what doesn't when it comes to Twitter engagement from some of the top marketing sites. They combined all those results into the main study you see here. So if you want to go to CoSchedule.com and check out the best times to post on social media, you'll come across this. It goes over Twitter, Facebook, all these other ones. But right now we're just talking about Twitter, and the best times to post on Twitter are 12 p.m., 3 p.m., and between 5 and 6 p.m. You'll notice that Wednesday happens to be the best day during the week. So if you have some big announcement or something special to do during the week on Twitter, save it for Wednesday. B2B, business-to-business accounts tend to perform 16% better during business hours, and business-to-consumer ones do better on weekends when people are off work. So depending on what kind of company you are or what kind of brand you are, keep those things in mind. Wednesday around noon and 5 to 6 p.m. are peak moments during workers' breaks or when they're getting off work. Twitter users are 181% more likely to be on Twitter during their commute, which doesn't sound good, but seems to be true. And just study this chart and remember that posting in the afternoon, specifically noon, 3 p.m., and between 5 and 6 p.m., are when you should post your most popular, engaging content for Twitter, because that's when you get the peak amount of followers that will see it and the peak engagement. Number 4, promote your tweets or your Twitter account on Empire.Kred. So Empire.Kred, formerly known as Empire Avenue, if you go to Empire.Kred, you can create an account for free, and what you do is it's kind of like JustRetweet in a way, except there's a lot more that you can do. What it does is you earn points, you earn eves, which are basically just these fake credits that you earn from doing missions for people like you would on JustRetweet, or for doing the stock market. If you go up here, you'll notice there's a stock market tab, and you can invest in users, and as their stock goes up, you can sell it, make a profit, and use those credits to do missions. So these are what missions look like. It's just a picture, something to do, and then it gives you a link of where to go. Once they click on that mission, it's just basically a way to drive extra traffic to a social media post, to a blog, to a video, whatever it is. It's a way of driving traffic by paying people through fake credits that you earn from sharing their stuff. So you earn these credits through the stock market game, through missions, and then you create your missions much like you do on JustRetweet, and you can send people straight to your Twitter account or straight to your top tweets, and a high percentage of them will share and mention you and things like that, especially if it's good stuff. So it's a way of driving more traffic without actually having to pay money for ads. So I would recommend you do that as well. Number 5, tweet 12 plus times per day. So the thing about Twitter compared to, say, Facebook, its top competitor, Facebook has a long shelf life for posts. So if you post once on Facebook, people might not see it until 6 hours later. If you post on Twitter, things tend to be in real time. So their feeds are constantly updating. People won't see a tweet many times, especially if they're following a lot of people. So if you post more, you're more likely to get that person, each follower, to see at least one of those posts. So you can post more on Twitter because of the very short shelf life compared to other platforms. There's a post on fastcompany.com called the Social Media Frequency Guide, How Often to Post to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and More. And this really is a great post that covers how often and why you should post on Twitter, how often. They give you actually a schedule that you could go with for 14 times. They say 14 times is the optimal amount to post on Twitter. 2 times for Facebook, 1 time for LinkedIn, 2 times for Google+. So as you can see, just the shelf life of a post just does not last long on Twitter. Therefore, you need to post more. You can even post the same post or a variation of it multiple times as well. You'll notice a lot of bloggers do that to get the maximum exposure for each blog post. So I would recommend you go through this article. I don't want to cover every single thing in this article because of the sake of time and because I want to get to these other ways of creating a popular Twitter account, but this will show you how Twitter works versus the other social media platforms and why more posting equals more traffic and more engagement. Just being extra active and posting a lot of stuff on Twitter, as you see in this chart. And it can really help you just by posting more content, as long as it's still quality content related to your brand. Number 6, tell people to engage for reward, contest, cause, question, etc. So what I mean by this is, if you look at some of the most popular tweets of all time, like I mentioned I would earlier, here are some of the most popular tweets ever. If you go to Time magazine at time.com, you'll notice that these are the 10 most popular tweets of all time. You can just search this in Google. And when you see this post, you'll notice the very first one in the top 10 is one about a dog and Pedigree, which makes dog food. And the tweet says, for every retweet this gets, Pedigree will donate 1 bowl of dog food to dogs in need. So people feel good about themselves. There's a reason for them to retweet. There's a motive for retweeting. It's not just to share, it's to actually help a dog in need by donating a bowl of food just for retweeting. And look how many retweets they got, over 700,000. Things like that, a cause or a question. You'll notice some of these other ones that are top posts from people from One Direction, things like that. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of images are not going to be in the top post. This one is, of course. This one applies very well to a dog in need. They actually show a dog in need. But most of the time, these top posts will be like this. It will be something that a celebrity tweets that's going on, or a quote from a song, things like that. Or news. News does very well on Twitter if you post some kind of news, and even a link to a news story. There's another one talking about a cause to stop discrimination in Indonesia. They had a thing that if you retweet, that means you agree to stop discrimination, that it should be stopped. So check this out. If you notice that this one where it talks about a cause, retweet if you agree, and this other one where it says retweet to help dogs in need by donating. So those two posts are causes and like polls, things like that, that engage people and give them a very specific reason to retweet or engage with your content. By doing that, it creates a viral post. So if you have a yes, no question, you could tell people to retweet if yes, favorite if no. You could tell people to share the post for a donation. Things like that can do really well in making a post go viral on Twitter. Number 7, make your bio and photo interesting by using credentials, accomplishments, professional photo, things like that. So first impressions are very important on social media. As an example, I'll show you Jeff Bullis. Jeff Bullis, you may not know who he is, but he is a top marketer, very good social media marketer. He has a very popular blog, jeffbullis.com, and he does a very good job by giving people a reason to listen to him and to follow him, because if you look at his bio, he has a very professional picture of a headshot of himself. He looks like a nice guy in his picture. It's a professional photo. And then if you look at his bio, it says #1 content marketing influencer, social media marketing strategist and speaker, Forbes top 10 social media influencer, #1 global business blog. He also has a link to that blog. Also, he has his cover photo with a quote, and it shows he's been featured on all these top brands' websites. So doing that creates a sense of trust with people. This is more of a professional type of profile where people are reading his blog about marketing and things like that, but they're not going to listen to someone giving advice and strategies on marketing unless they think you actually know what you're talking about. And this is how he convinces people just from the first impression of his Twitter account that he actually knows what he's talking about, that he actually is the expert that you are looking for to get advice from, by listing his accomplishments and where he's been featured and showing you who he really is and things like that. So that's just an example of a really well done profile by a very savvy social media marketer. List why people should care about who you are. Don't just tweet good stuff. People need to see a good first impression by showing them why you should be interesting and why they should follow you, by using credentials, accomplishments, things like that. Another thing you want to do is post using trending keywords and hashtags. So if you go up here to Twitter and you scroll down and look on the left side, you'll notice that wherever you are, there will be trends in your country, in your state, depending on your settings. And right now, as of me making this video, Travel for Good, of course that's an ad, but these down here, hashtag in 2017 I predict, hashtag Mets, Darren Sharper, Liam and Cheryl, all these different ones are really trending right now. You can see how many tweets in the US there are for these keywords as well as hashtags, and that shows you what's really trending right now. There are also websites you can look up on Google that will tell you trending hashtags and the most popular general hashtags that are used year-round, but these are what's interesting right now. The thing about Twitter is a really good news social media platform. A lot of people go here as well as Facebook to get news, but Twitter in particular, because things trend and people make quick comments and announce things on Twitter all the time, and just tweeting about these different news subjects can really boost your profile, get a lot of views on your tweets, and get you a lot more followers if you post good stuff. So I would definitely recommend you take advantage of these trends. Number 9, follow people who follow competitors. So let's say you are Jeff Bullis. You're a social media marketer. If you want to get a bunch of followers, you can tell he has a lot of people that he's following. He's following 231,000 people, but he has 490,000 followers. So to start out, one thing he's mentioned in the past is that he used tools like Tweepy to follow people that he thought would be interested in his brand. And by following these people will be notified of you, and they will see that you're following them, and then they will go and look at your profile to see if they want to follow you back, and they'll go see what your tweets are and things like that. So you're basically just putting yourself in front of people. If you're not putting yourself in front of people, it's just out of sight, out of mind. People are not going to know who you are, even if you have the best tweets in the world. So to get the engagement, to get those extra followers and spread your tweets and make them go viral, you need to have people following you that would be interested in those tweets. And to do that, you find competitors. So Jeff Bullis, social media marketer, he could follow the people who follow Social Media Examiner and their blog. He could follow people who follow Entrepreneur.com, Forbes, Inc., things like that. These types of blogs and websites would be somewhat related to his brand. So if he followed people who follow those brands and about 10 to 20% of them follow him back, then he can really work with that and keep growing his following until he's able to get new followers per day without following people. So, some people don't like following to get followers, but it does work if you do it right. Jeff Bullis is a great example of it. He's following over 200,000 people, but now he's got almost 500,000 followers. So he's come a long way from starting out doing that. Tweepy, this is the tool I mentioned that a lot of people like Jeff Bullis might use for that type of stuff. And you just go to tweepy.com, sign up, you can create a free account, and you can figure out who's following you that you're not following back. You can figure out who you're not following back, who you are following that aren't following you back. It's a very interesting tool that allows you to find people that would be interested in your brand based off of who they're following and who they're connected to, and then you can leverage that to connect with them. So I would recommend using Tweepy and studying what Jeff Bullis has done to get more followers. If you want to use the following method, you could follow maybe 50 to 100 people a day. About 10 to 20% of them will follow you back. Number 10, have links and follow buttons for your Twitter profile everywhere. So another thing great marketers do, even if you're not a marketer, you need to do this if you want a popular Twitter account. You need to connect all your other accounts and your websites to your Twitter account. So if you want to grow your Twitter account and really leverage that, there's a few ways you can do it. You can put a Twitter link to your profile like Huffington Post does in the menu, which is the top part of the header of a website. You can do that. As you see here, if you click that, it'll go straight to the Huffington Post Twitter account. If you have a YouTube channel, Gary Vaynerchuk, very popular YouTube channel. He's very good at social media as well. You'll notice in the description of all his videos, he has his Twitter account link right there, so you can follow him on Twitter. And those are just two great ways to get more Twitter followers. You can also get plugins for WordPress sites. You can have a little Twitter follow box. There's a lot of different things you can do, and you can also mention your Twitter. If you have a Facebook page or something like that, you can list your Twitter link there instead of your website link in your bio. So those are just a few other places you could mention your Twitter account. Number 11, buy a few thousand followers to start. Do this at your own risk. This could cause problems. It's typically frowned upon by Twitter, but a lot of people have done this. I've actually tried doing this with one other account, and it did work. It did get me some followers. I did it kind of as an experiment, and some people believe in this, and some great brands believe in this. Or you can even use ads. So ads would be a more white hat way of doing things, whereas buying a few thousand followers on, say, Fiverr would be more of a black hat tactic. But in many cases you won't get penalized or anything. So like I said, do this at your own risk. The thing is, a lot of people will not follow you if you don't have a lot of followers already. So to get your first few followers, or your first few thousand, so that you can start getting thousands of new followers, is sometimes you have to pay someone to help you get those first few thousand followers, or pay for those first few thousand followers. Whatever it is, sometimes you have to do certain things just to get those first few followers so you don't look like you're an unpopular account. People typically are more likely to follow you if the more followers you already have. They don't want to be the only one following you because that makes them look unpopular and it makes you look like a loser. So just keep that in mind. You can buy followers probably on Twitter. You can also purchase a Twitter account promotion, which is a little bit better, whereas you don't have to actually buy a bunch of fake followers. Instead of buying fake followers, I would recommend you do like a Fiverr gig where you get your account promoted on these types of gigs. You can do it for $5 in many cases. So I would recommend you get your followers from real people, not buying fake followers. And you can do that through Fiverr gigs, or you can do that through paid advertising. So instead of putting the $5 towards buying fake Twitter accounts like some of these people would do on Fiverr, many people advise against that and say you should do ads instead. So that would be the alternative. There's a great post on Moz.com called The Ridiculously Smart Guide to Buying Legit Twitter Followers. So basically, Larry Kim recommends that instead of buying fake follower accounts to make yourself look popular before you start marketing, you can use advertising with about the same budget and then just post stuff that would make people want to follow you. So this is the ultimate guide to doing that. Paying a few dollars to get your first few hundred or first few thousand Twitter followers, and then that will make the rest of these strategies work even better the more followers you already have. Number 12, engage through retweets, mentions, comments, messages, and favorites. So the more active you are on social media, no matter what it is, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, the more likely people are going to want to see who you are, look at your profile, follow you, and engage back with you. So there's a post on Entrepreneur.com by Ann Tran, who created an account on Twitter that got over 380,000 Twitter followers without spending any money at all on the account. And one of the things she mentions a lot is just being active and actually messaging people directly on Twitter, thanking them for following, mentioning them, retweeting their post that she likes. Doing things like that can go a long way, not only for getting followers, but getting people to appreciate you more, feel like you actually notice them, and then the quality of your followers will go way up because these people want to follow you for life if they feel like you actually care about them. And if you never reply to their mentions or retweet any of their posts or anything, they may feel like you don't care. So if you actually make people feel like you care, you actually retweet them, you actually talk to them, message them on Twitter, just follow what she mentions in this post, and you will understand how you can turn a bunch of regular followers into very high quality, fan for life type followers. And last but not least, number 13, study your analytics as often as possible. I talk about this all the time with anything marketing related because this is what I did, and that helped me create a very successful brand online. I didn't get anywhere until I started studying my analytics every day, 5 days a week. So if you don't study the analytics, in my opinion, you are going to fail miserably because you won't know what's working, you won't know what's not working, you won't know why people are following you, you won't know why people are retweeting some of your tweets and not others. If you don't know the details, you don't know the facts, how can you make an informed decision on what direction to go in to build your Twitter account? So you need to know the analytics. Go to blog.bufferapp.com, check out this post called How to Use Twitter Analytics, 15 simple to find stats to help you tweet better. This is going to show you the main statistics you need to pay attention to, and these are the only ones you need to worry about. You don't need to worry about all analytics. You don't need to overwhelm yourself with every single number. There's a handful of numbers you need to pay the most attention to that will help you grow your profile and make it lean, make your marketing lean, and help you waste less time doing things that don't work. So this will help you know the facts. It will help you figure out what works so that you can do more of that, and it will help you in the long run just get a lot more followers and a lot more engagement by giving people what they want and knowing why they do what they do related to your account. So if you got something from this video, if you feel like you learned something about how to create a really popular Twitter account, getting your first few thousand Twitter followers, please like and subscribe so I can create more videos like this for you to help you grow your Twitter account and other social media accounts. If you think there's some strategies that I left out in the video that you thought should have been in there, or if you would just like to let me know what you thought about the video overall, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'm always looking for feedback. I'm always looking to improve these videos and help you out as much as possible. So let me know what you think, and if you want to get more resources, tools that you can use, blog posts that cover step-by-step what to do, you can go to selfmadesuccess.com. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day.